Hey guys, welcome to Asking Ashley, and this is episode 12 of Asking Ashley. Without further ado, we'll get into this week's submissions. I cannot. First one is titled Financial Issues Due to Coffee. Okay, I'm intrigued. Message reads, I have a significant coffee addiction and cannot afford it, but I also cannot stop. What should I do? I personally don't care for the taste of coffee. I am a tea person, but I can attest to the fact that I'm just as much addicted to tea as most people are to coffee. So I can completely understand, but an addiction you have and advice I shall give. Judging from your email and how much of it is in all caps, I think that it's a pretty strong addiction to coffee. I would reassess the things that you're doing to wake yourself up first thing in the morning. For example, you should try to wake up and first thing you do is take a shower. That's my personal go-to. I also just love it as a means of starting my day.
Hello?
Even if you have to change the temperature a little bit to shock your senses, I think it's something that's really, really helpful to just get you up first thing in the morning. As much as it hurts, don't snooze on your alarm.
Oh, God!
Take that alarm a lot more seriously when you get up, and your brain will know, and you have to retrain yourself to think, sleep is done. That way, your body's waking up process isn't as drawn out and you're not as tired as long as you typically are first thing in the morning.
Wake me up inside. I can't wake up, wake me up inside. Save me.
I don't think cold turkey works for a lot of people, so my suggestion to you would be to wane off of it slowly but surely.
Instead of having those 4 coffees a day, try to say, okay, I won't have coffee anymore after 5 o'clock. So now you've only got time for 3 coffees. All right, let's try that for a week or 2. Okay, let's try something else. I'm not gonna have any sugar in my coffee or cream or anything extra at all. Okay, that's also gonna be a change. So you're cutting that back. Now you'll find, okay, maybe your coffee's a little stronger now that it's not watered down with all those additives. So maybe you only need 2 cups now. And kind of continue on that pattern until you find that, oh, all I need is 1 coffee a day to get me going. And maybe not even every day.
Whew! All right, let's recap real quick.
So first thing, you wake up. You cannot go back to sleep. No pressing the snooze button. You're up, you're up, you're up. Head in the shower, you're awake. Or head first thing to the gym. Do a little workout to get yourself going. Some push-ups, some yoga. Whatever helps you keep going in the morning long enough that you don't need, your first need for energy isn't from a substance. So second, start weaning yourself off of the coffee slowly. Not everyone can do the cold turkey, and that's completely fine. I know that your finances aren't really happy with you right now, but I think relapsing and then having 5 or 7 coffees a day instead of your typical 4 isn't going to leave you any better than where you are right now. And don't be too upset yourself if you have a little relapse here and there. One day goof is fine, but try to stick to your plan as much as possible. And 3 is a total mindset change. In your email, I noticed that in all caps, you said cannot stop. Cannot, in all caps. So that's telling me a little more about the mindset you're in when you're thinking about coffee. So even though you sent in this issue to me, it seems that no matter what I say, if your mindset is unable to change around the need for caffeine, I might as well be talking to a brick wall.
Give me that coffee. Give me that coffee.
No. In your mind, you've already thought of yourself that I cannot change this. I cannot change this. So even though it's 3rd, it's definitely the most important in this. Okay, so I really hope that my advice on your coffee dilemma is helpful, and thank you for your submission. Okay, so this next submission is titled Boyfriend Issues. My boyfriend skipped a planned trip in which I paid for his plane ticket at the last minute because his boss told him he shouldn't go because finishing work is being a better partner. What should I do? Okay, so first things first, it's already happened. So you kind of have to let at least part of that go. The money's gone. I can't get the money back. but you know, I can at least get some semblance of peace in my inner world that this has already happened and there's nothing I can do to change it. Maybe it's an excuse and he really didn't want to go on the trip to begin with. That's my first thought, to be honest.
It's sounding like how you say an excuse.
But he just didn't know how to tell you, so he's telling you that his boss told him he shouldn't go. And the way that you're putting it in parentheses, I don't think that you believe that either. I honestly just think that your significant other did not want to go on this trip with you and is trying to find any other way to say, you know, why he wasn't there. I have a very hard time believing that he wanted to go on this trip. I don't know what it is. It's just a feeling. I could be completely off, but my senses are telling me. In another scenario, assuming that all this truly did transpire, I would ask your boyfriend to change his relationship with his boss. I don't think that, unless he was asking his boss for advice or something along those lines, I don't think your employer necessarily has that much say.
And by that much, I mean none.
In how you spend your personal time, if any, as long as it's safe, you know, you're not doing anything to hurt the company.
Yikes.
So first things first, I would say no more planning any trips with your boyfriend without a 100% go, because that is going to cause immediate tension in your relationship. If you're spending money on things that never come to be and you feel like you're wasting money and you're putting all this time and this energy into something that will never come into fruition. So make sure it's a 100% go before you do any more financial investments in any kind of trips like these. My second thing, I think you should have a conversation with your boyfriend about how much he clues in his coworkers about his personal life and the things that he's doing. He could have just said that he was taking a couple days, personal days, instead of revealing to his boss that,
hey, I'm going on this big trip with my girlfriend and we're going to be doing all this stuff and I can't wait. I may be a little tired afterwards, so I might have to take a couple of extra days off, you know, the vacation from the vacation.
if this is the energy that he's getting from his coworkers and his boss or supervisor, I think it's a safer bet just not to share, not to bring the issue back to him, because I don't necessarily co-sign with what his boss was telling him. But at the same time, if he hadn't given them any information on the details of his days off, there would be no grounds for this conversation to even happen. Yeah, I think his boss has shown that this boundary between the two of them isn't good. And my third point for this is, once in a while at work, I know I'm big on boundaries, but once in a while at work, you do have to put in that extra time and you do have to put in that extra effort. And it does really interrupt your plans with your family and your friends and even with yourself. So as long as this event is once in a while, and this isn't happening every time you guys plan a trip together or every time your boyfriend wants to take some time off, I say, c'est la vie. That's life, you know? Sometimes these things don't work out. And I wouldn't let, as long as you guys are fine otherwise, and it's just this one hiccup with this trip, I wouldn't bug your boyfriend about it. You still have to have a conversation about,
wow, this made me really upset and really disappointed. I wish this hadn't happened last minute. Can we try to plan our best next time and not share so much with our coworkers?
I think you'd still have that conversation, but I do think these things also happen.
All right, let's bring it home.
One, make sure that your boyfriend really did want to go on this trip and that this wasn't just an excuse for him to get out of it, so he didn't feel bad about letting you down, about doing something he really didn't want to do. Two, make sure your boyfriend doesn't clue in his coworkers so much about his life, so that when he is taking time off, it's not the office business about where he's going, what he's doing, how long it's going to take, and what, you know, and what that all entails. It's okay to have a couple friends at work that you tell these things to, but if you're noticing that telling people at work is having repercussions to how much time you can actually take off, maybe just keep it to yourself. And three, c'est la vie. These things happen. Sometimes we get disappointed when our plans are interrupted. No matter how special or how last minute, we can't always prevent these things. So have the chat with your boyfriend, say,
This is how this made me feel. I'm really sad and upset that we weren't able to spend this time together.
I'm sorry that happened, and thank you for sending in your dilemma. Thank you everyone for sending in your submissions this week. These were some good ones. If you have any questions that you'd like to send in to me, head over to askingashley.com to put in your submission and tell me all about your story. And guys, some of these are kind of short. I love detail. The more detail you give me, the better advice that I can give back to you. So if you like the content that I'm putting out, like this video and subscribe to my channel. And more importantly, if you don't like the advice I'm putting out, comment below on what you would do in that situation or better advice you might have for our submissions this week. And everyone, thank you so much for listening in, and take care of each other. Bye.